Coming to the job when the national side is at a pretty low ebb, quickly, I suppose, what's your assessment of where Irish rugby stands at senior level?
Yeah, we were a little bit the same with Leinster. If you do have injuries, you're a little bit compromised, and you've got to try to fight your way through those periods. And I'd certainly sympathise with the recent Irish performances, because I think any results that might not have gone their way could be mitigated by the fact that a number of key players were missing. And I think even if you look at the way Munster have recharged themselves in these last couple of weeks when they've got key players back, I know for Leinster it's the same. So I guess I hope that Ireland, we will have a little bit of an injury-free period, or less injury anyway than has happened lately, and we'll be able to gather that group, that collective together, and hopefully put out the performances that will meet the expectation of what I hope is some really good support.
And have you any details on your backroom team at this stage?
No, I've just got my own details today, so it's a little bit hard to project anything further ahead than that at this stage. As I say, we had Philip said we had a pretty big game on Saturday, and that was a massive focus for me last week. And I would like to thank both Leinster and the RFU for trying to fit me in and around schedules so that we could get a little bit of cohesion between my day job currently and a prospective job.
Do you have kind of people in your head who you'd like to see in your coaching staff?
Not as yet, to be honest. I think, as I said before I had the job, I think I struggle with speculation, and I'd rather have something concrete, because I think speculation inevitably can lead to some people being disinterested when we might be interested in trying to include them or otherwise. So at this stage, being new in the role, I'd like to take the next 4 to 6 weeks, because even during that 4 to 6 weeks, we'll still have a number of things that we have to do in a Leinster framework, hopefully for the next 4 weeks, where that'll be determined over the coming weeks. But if that is the bulk of my time, hopefully beyond that and a few windows in amongst it, we'll be able to sort through that. Yeah, to be honest, I know Les reasonably well. I worked with him a little bit when we tried to get him into Leinster when I first started, and so I think he's incredibly capable, and for me, I'm pretty busy, as I said, in the next 4 weeks. That allows Les the opportunity to get that team together. Les has spoken to me a couple of times anyway, just in my role as Leinster coach, to let me know who's involved at this stage, who's in the wider reckoning. Obviously, we've got to wait until a couple of names hopefully get pulled out of the hat tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and the more they get pulled out, the better. And then I think Les has a pretty good list of who else is available to maybe tour North America and also go on the development tour to Georgia.
Joe, apart from the obvious career progression, what were the things that made you want to be the Irish coach?
I'd say again, the first thing is the encouragement I got from Leinster, the professional game board, members of the professional game board, some of the players, and it's a bit like when I came to Leinster. I didn't ever really want to be a head coach, but I've really enjoyed the experience. After the first 4 weeks I wasn't enjoying. That might have been because we kept losing, but I think at the same time, I'm really motivated by challenge. I think this is a super challenge, albeit an intimidating one. And I guess if you're going to really find out what you think you can bring to a group, what better way than try to take on one of the big jobs in world rugby.
Joe, just when you came to Leinster 3 seasons ago, or almost 3 seasons ago, you aimed to make them the best club rugby passing side there was in the Northern Hemisphere. Would you have similar ambitions for the national team at European level, at least?
Again, that was something that wasn't meant to leak into the public domain. That was, we had a few key targets. There's a few others. that I won't divulge, but I think when you get your group together, you have a look at what they can do. I had the chance with Leinster. I knew I was coming 3 months beforehand. I had a good chance. We obviously, when I was with Clermont, we played them in a quarter-final of the Heineken Cup, so I had a good chance to have a good look at some of their players, and I just thought that there were some things that they did really well and some things that, if they could do a little bit better, maybe we could grow our game. And so I've had a good chance to have a look at a lot of the Irish players, and once we kind of get our collective together, we'll try to get some process-orientated goals, no doubt, together that will try to improve performance or at least make us as competitive as possible.
Last question from broadcast.
I'm sure you heard those roars going around the RDS last day for Brian Driscoll, 1 more year. Will you convince him to stay on 1 more year and play for Ireland? Well,
look, he's put some pressure on me, so I think, I'd certainly like to put a bit of pressure on him. I think, we put a couple of plants in the crowd to start that chant. So I hope they've been successful. I think the one thing with Brian, he's very much his own man. He'll make his own decision, but at the same time, it doesn't stop you trying to push him toward one. And so I'd like to see him continue. I'd love to see him named tomorrow, and I think that would be part of the continuation of a stellar career. Hopefully, not the end of one.
Okay, that's it for questions from the live section.